13 mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Well, you went to the other thing.
What other thing? Welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Y'all really energetic over there.
No, I mean,
you ought to be, Jack. You know who won this week?
I know who won this week.
Who won this week, Jack?
Jeff Gordon won this week. Now wait a minute. I have to say didn't used to be a Jeff Gordon fan. But after this week, I'm a Jeff Gordon fan.
Oh God.
So how was it to stand in victory lane with your son?
That was unbelievable. I mean, it really was. It was. The good thing was I got to see him go through that last 20 laps, hand on his top of his head, walking and pacing, and then the excitement of finally winning the race. You know, that was a big deal. And then I wasn't even planning to go on the stage to start with. You know,
Why not?
Well, I mean, I didn't.
I'd have knocked somebody down to get up there.
But
I mean, if you didn't want to go, I'd have went.
But the guys got me up. I mean, you know, Lee. Come on, Dad, you're going, and the guys, come on, you're with us. And I got up there. I'm glad I went now. I got sprayed with champagne. That was kind of cool, too. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, and it was an experience. If I don't ever see it again, I've done it once.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an experience of a lifetime.
And I got to do it with him, you know, and that was a big deal. I mean,
Well, it's like I said, you may not be a Jeff Gordon fan, but you're a Lee Dodson fan.
You got that right. I'm definitely a Lee Dodson fan.
So.
Definitely. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, and it was a good experience for me, and I'm just happy for him. I mean,
now, did you get any good pictures of you and your son that are kind of taken that you can keep as a...
There are some pictures of me and him that I have gotten since then, but I took a lot of pictures of him myself. In victory lane, I backed up and took some pictures of him. Mm-hmm. You know, I wasn't in them, but.
Now, how fast did your wife call you?
My wife did not call me.
His phone was dead.
Yeah, my phone was dead. My wife, and she didn't even try to call me anyway, because she knows not to call me when I'm at the racetrack, because I'm not going to hear it anyway, and he knows too. But my son got called in victory lane by my wife. My wife called him in victory lane, and he actually answered the phone. Surprise, but.
Saw who it was, he better.
So that was a big
that's a big moment. That's a big moment. I'm happy for you. It's fun to watch other people's excitement on stuff like that.
It is.
I mean, for me, it was fun to watch you excited and being there because I knew how fun it would be. I mean, I can't imagine how fun it would be to have your son, you know, win a race or working on the car and so forth. So
it was an experience. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, it got to me. I mean,
you should.
Did you get tears in your eyes? Yes. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I did.
You better have.
I did when it went right at the end of the race because, you know, I know what he's been through. I know what all has happened, and to be in that situation again, and that was one of his goals that he set for himself. You know, and that was, you know, when you accomplish something that you set out to do, it means more to me to see him do good than it ever did or I did anything. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I could totally.
So it didn't.
So how far out is Gordon from potentially able to get the championship?
He is 27 points back.
So if Jimmy Johnson and Kenseth have a bad race day,
he's not out.
No, I know he's not out, but 27 points is still. You only could get up to what, 30, maybe 42 points, depending on how many laps are led and everything, and how it goes. So
game.
If you go max points, you can get 45.
Yeah.
45 points max points.
But still, those two have to have a really, really bad day. They have to be in the back.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, if he can beat them by 5 to 10 cars,
but he only got what, four more races left. 3 races.
If he beats them by 5 to 10 cars,
no, he's got to beat by 10. Average of 10, because that's going to give him 30 points.
Yeah, but you got a shot when it comes to Homestead. I mean, he's still got a shot. I mean, I think he's still. I mean, if he keeps clicking off.
The situation is it's not. He's got a shot, but legitimately, I think that having to jump Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth is going to be a tall order. It's a tall order.
Well, I don't think anybody knew how good Matt was going to be this year.
I mean, he's everywhere he goes. He's good. So
well, Martinsville, they thought he was going to stumble.
He didn't stumble.
The week before, they thought he was going to stumble, and he's been right there.
He didn't stumble. He was right there with him the whole time. So it was a. But legitimately, no, they're not. I don't see him winning it. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah. I don't either. But he's got a shot. I mean, he's still in it.
He's still got to jump 2 people to get to the
two good guys.
Yeah, and these guys are running in the top 5 every week.
Yeah,
no, they're running in the top 3 every week.
So yeah, and one of them's his teammate.
Oh, did you share with him what Jeff Gordon and them were asking? I don't know. What Jimmy Johnson and them were asking Jeff Gordon to do on a couple of restarts?
Yeah, on a couple of restarts, Chad sent the message over, let us start on the bottom. And you know there was no if you watched the race, you went to the bottom. That's the way you were going to go.
Yeah, if you were outside,
but if you were on the outside, you were hung.
Right. Train 10 cars.
And Gustafson told him, "Now y'all have to come up with a better plan than that." And that did.
Well, you know, Jimmy, they asked for an inch, but they'll take a mile.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it was kind of funny. I was watching it, and you know, Harvick, with him talking a lot on Saturday with the truck race, I noticed his teammates didn't let him in. I mean, they rode, and even when he was hung on the outside, they did not let him in. I think one time he kind of cut Paul Menard off and shoved it on in there, but I think he's dug himself a hole. And it's kind of sad because of what him and Richard Childress have gone through. They've got this connection, and I think it's sad that it's come to what it has come to.
He's going to have a rough 3 races. Regardless of how you look at it.
Even though he apologized.
He's going to have a rough 3 races.
You know, he apologized, but he didn't. To me, he really didn't apologize.
He apologized.
I'm a Harvick fan.
If you listen to the apology,
more to the fans than it was to
more to
his crew.
His team was the one. He didn't apologize to Richard Childress. He didn't apologize to Ty Dillon.
Those are the 2 people he should have.
He apologized to his team for putting them in this position.
Yeah.
So, like we said earlier, he knew what he was saying. He knew what he was saying.
And Bob had all 3 trucks out there too, because he had Hornaday, Brennan, and Harvick.
So I mean, you know, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was saying. You know, and he's just riding it out now. I mean.
Well, I imagine it's a little lonely though.
It's going to be a whole lot lonely because probably now he's not going to be allowed inside any of the meetings they have now for the rest of the year. They're going to do him like they did Tony Stewart at Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
Last year. Now you ain't coming to the meeting this week. You might as well go on somewhere else. Whatever we got going on here, you don't need to know about.
Show up for practice and racing. That's all you need to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then here's a guy who's 9 points back in the. He's not out of the.
Yeah, I mean, there's some incentive there. They may still say, "Hey, well, we're."
That's the only reason he's still in the car.
Yeah,
I would say so too. And it was nice to hear that Richard said that I'm still committed to him because our guys have worked hard to be in this chase, and we deserve to win a championship.
And you don't want to throw it away because there's millions of dollars on the line at that point.
He's in it, but he's not in it.
Right. Yeah. Kind of the same way as Jeff Gordon.
Not as wholeheartedly as he used to be.
No, and Richard Childress, and I know this guy right here he's gonna jump right dead in my case here, right when I say this. But Richard Childress is known to not give the best equipment to certain people. In his own, yeah. You take a look at a guy who won 4 races in the Nationwide Series last year.
Who are you talking about?
Think about it now. Won 4 races, or 3 or 4 races last year in the Nationwide Series, and didn't win the championship. Okay, didn't win the championship. But he's the only one who had car problems through the whole year.
Yeah, but was it a good move for him because he went over JGR? I don't think he's running as well.
He's not running good over there, but I got my reasons to believe that too.
I can understand the perception, and that may very well be.
But it goes right back.
I hate to say it. You think about Jeff Burton being in there having to deal with that too.
Yeah.
But you got to think now. You got to think now. He was running for a championship last year against Austin Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who do you think is going to get the better equipment?
Daddy's grandson.
Who do you think is going to get the better equipment? Because when it came down to it, Austin Dillon beat him out in the point standings.
Yeah, I don't know where they finished that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
Now,
what's not over there too? Harvick's crew chief, because he was in charge of that whole program too last year until they called him back up to Kevin kissed his butt to get him come back on top of the pit box. I cannot think of his name.
Gil Martin.
Yeah, Gil.
Gil Martin. Let's see now that 33 car, Busch car that they had, or the Nationwide car that they've got at Richard Childress. Ernie Cope was the crew chief there. All of a sudden, he didn't show up. You know, they just said he's gone. Nick Harrison went over there and took over the team. Guess where he shows up?
Where?
He's at Stewart. I mean, at Junior Motorsports. He's going to be Kevin Harvick's crew chief in the Nationwide car when he runs the Nationwide car.
Oh, is there? So I guess well, that was short-lived at Childress woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad for him to get a good job. I don't know how he fitted in over there to 51 after the team got shifted, but Nick had been over there for a long time. I'm surprised he really hadn't got a job somewhere else. I think he was just loyal to.
He was very loyal to Finch, and he lived. Yeah, he did. He lived right there. He was very loyal to Finch, but
I believe he's a good crew chief.
What else are we going to talk about?
I don't know.
well, I was going to say
You're going to get me to say something I didn't.
Tony Stewart's team. A lot of the guys that I talked to, of course, they couldn't do it because of a lot of deals and sponsorships and everything else. They would have loved to have had Austin Dillon there a whole lot more than they had Mark Martin.
Is there?
Yep.
I think Austin's done a good job in that car.
He ran good. Ran up front last, at Talladega. He was good.
And then he ran one other race with those guys, or two?
2 other races with him.
Yeah, and I think both times he's ran well with them.
Mark Martin's a good driver. He used to be a great driver, and I don't know if he's just pulling back or whatever, but
I think it's just different than what he's used to.
Well, I mean, a good car is a good car.
Not necessarily, though. I mean, Jack is, you've driven some, but sometimes some people like a different feel in a car. What one person can drive fast doesn't mean another person can drive it fast.
Well, that's why you talk to the crew chief, the race engineer, get that car set to the way you want it to.
And that's why the crew chief won't be back next year.
Yep.
And then you got,
he won't be back next year. So
there's more to follow on that. But
yeah.
So what other news we got?
now I'm really concerned here because I'm trying to figure out if I'm actually getting audio on this thing going.
Wow, that's a good thing. Well, they ain't this much.
No.
Well, no, I'm seeing up here the volume meters, everything going on, because I redid this whole different thing today. We're using HDMI, which is a higher definition, and put in a new card in the computer and everything. The screen, as you can see, it looks a lot better behind you and everything. But
see where I picked my face there, and I got a spot on my head.
you pick that out too. But I'm just not seeing my screen with the bouncing green on the side over here or up over here. I've got audio running from this. So the bad part is I thought about testing it earlier and then got on a tangent. Because
the truck race was exciting.
Truck race was really good. I really liked the truck race. It was a good race. It's a lot of fun at the end. Got to see Sledgehammer. I mean, rubber mallets getting thrown. And
No, it was a sledgehammer.
Yeah, it was a sledgehammer.
It was a dead blow hammers.
Well, yeah,
they said there'd probably be a fine for that. So,
it did nothing come out today. Did nothing come out today.
They hadn't figured out who it was that did it.
Or maybe they might have just like, but yeah, that's what they need. Everybody loves a good
hammer throwing contest.
I like a good fight. You know,
little rumble.
It was pretty cool with Bubba Wallace winning the race,
yep.
And he had a fast truck. It wasn't like he lucked into it.
I was in the media center Sunday morning and listening to Wendell Scott's family. They were there, and how much it meant to them to see Darrell Wallace win a race.
And he's a nice kid.
Oh, he's pretty sharp.
And I think he's got a bright future. I really do.
He's won in everything he's been in. So hopefully, supposedly they don't have sponsorship lined up for next year either.
Yeah, I heard him talking to him. They said that they were trying to find some money. I think a lot of the Toyotas kind of put up to get him to run this.
What now? That wasn't a number?
No, it was the number just going to voicemail.
Who do we call him?
You want to text him or you want me to text him?
I can text him.
Okay.
I can text him.
Did you find out where this female pit crew lady went? Christmas?
Yeah, I know exactly where she went. She went back to CrossFit, where she belongs.
Well, she owns a CrossFit, doesn't she?
She's part of that thing, yeah. The best thing that she could have done. I mean, because, well, you want me to say something nasty again, don't you? I
didn't know her, but she looked pretty tough. I mean, I wouldn't want to wrestle with her.
Oh no, I wouldn't either. I mean, she was
tough.
Yeah, but
to be in this sport, you got to be a tough person. Or a woman does, I mean, they got to have tougher skin.
I don't like the way that she was perceived. The way they went after her and saying she was this and all this. She wasn't.
Just for the name of having the publicity side of it, yeah.
It just, I tried to get her to come on the show.
Oh, really?
And I talked to her at Richmond, the first race in Richmond, and tried to get her to come on the show. And at that point, she was pretty, she was getting all this hype.
Right.
I'm the first female, but she wasn't.
Well, they had an all-girls pit crew.
Yeah, that was ARCA. That was ARCA. That was
nationwide.
That was Bob Shack's ARCA car.
With was that Patty or?
Yeah, Patty Simcoe.
I thought it was Patty Moise.
Well, Patty Moise, now she didn't have an all-girl pit crew when Patty Simcoe was driving for Shack at one time, and that was an all-girl pit crew. But the first female, and we had her on the show. I got her on the show, and I've talked to her several times. The first female pit crew member that actually went across the wall and did pit stops was Nicole Addison. She was with Brendan Gaughan in his truck team.
In his truck team?
In his truck team. Then she went to
Was that the time when they had a mandatory pit stop?
Yeah, she was a tire changer.
Yeah, but didn't in the beginning of the truck series, didn't they have?
At the beginning of the truck series, they had a intermission. They didn't have a pit stop.
But it wasn't then.
And no, it wasn't then. This was after that.
So she was legitimately.
She was legitimately across the wall, and she hurt her back and threw her shoulder out doing a pit stop, and she got out of it. And we had her on the show, but she was a little upset by the fact that Christmas was getting all this attention. And they were putting her on TV, and Michael Waltrip and everybody was building her up as the first female pit crew member, but it wasn't the first female pit crew. Why didn't
probably in the Cup series, probably.
She didn't do nothing with the Cup either.
Well, no.
She's done left
potentially.
She's done left there now, and hasn't even touched the tire, except in practice. So, but that was a good thing. I mean, it got a lot of publicity. It got Michael Waltrip a lot of publicity. ain't seen nothing from him.
Now, what have you heard on the Napa deal? You heard that you said something that you heard they're talking to a couple of teams?
They were talking to a couple teams, but I heard Sunday afternoon that it's more than likely they're not coming back.
Yeah, I had a friend of a friend that's on the advertisement board, and they said the census is they just, when the whole Michael Walker deal, it was just more of an excuse for them to just
Get
fold
out.
up and go home. And it's really sad because I really hate to see him go out of the sport.
Napa said they were supposedly going to stick behind him because they've been with him for so long.
Behind who?
Are you talking about Napa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Napa's out.
No, they're gone. I don't
Or
think
was it
they're not coming
5
back.
hour?
5 hours
5
staying
yeah.
on. 5 hours staying.
I think he was just trying to get into the word I'm looking for. I wouldn't say some press out of it because they went a couple days later and then they signed a 3-year deal. I think they were just trying to make a point.
Is Anthony there? This is Jack. Jack Dodson. Anthony. Hey man, I'm gonna hang up and we're gonna call you back with the phone from the show. All right, man. Okay. All right, now call him back. Well, I tell you what, these people during the week of the chase, they're busy. You don't do a whole lot of talking to them. I'm telling you.
Hello?
Yeah, let me transfer you over to the main line.
Alright.
Push the second line and push speaker.
Mr. O'Brien, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
All right, how's things down in Carolina tonight?
Actually, the weather's actually pretty good down here today, surprisingly.
All right, well, got you on the show. I want you to give us a little background on, you know, like you gave me yesterday. Give me a little background on what you've been involved in since you've been in racing, and tell us what all is going on with you.
Well, I started out racing, I was with Germain Racing, and I started out changing tires, and I was working in the shop, setting up the practice car and stuff, and I'd help them tear down in the shop. And then I went from Germain Racing to Front Row, and I was pitting for Kevin Conway, changing rears, and then after that deal, at the end of the year, they let everybody go. So I had a tryout at Hendrick Motorsports, and I ended up changing fronts on Danica Patrick's car when she was running the 7 for JR Motorsports for about 6 months. And then I was a backup for the 5 and the 24. And then the year after that, I ended up being a backup for the 48 and the 88. And I was changing fronts on the 51 for Kurt Busch for Phoenix Racing. And then this year, I went to Furniture Row, and I was changing fronts on the 78 all up until the race after Richmond, up till the chase started. And now I just signed a contract with RCR yesterday, doing a full-time nationwide deal, working in the shop, and doing a partial cup schedule for next year.
Are you going to be with the 33 next year, or?
I think it's going to be the 33 because they got I think Brian Scott's back, then Ty Dillon's moving up to the 3 nationwide, and then the word is that Brendan Gaughan's going to be in the 33 next year.
Yeah, I think they'd already said.
Yeah, they'd already said he was coming into nationwide for next year.
Okay, then I'll probably be on the 33 nationwide, and then I'll be on the 33 Cup car. They're running a partial schedule for RCR, so I'll be on that whenever a guy from RCR is going to be in the car.
When you went over to Hendrick and started working with Hendrick, they had a whole lot of training and everything they go through. Tell us some of the things they do as far as training their pit crew members and what all they have to do.
Well, pretty much it's like a combine kind of, because a lot of the people, not me, but 90% of the guys there now are college athletes, people that didn't go to the pros and stuff. And so like me, I didn't wrestle for 5 years in high school, and I could have wrestled probably for college, but I decided not to go. But they got a full, awesome weight room, physical therapists there, hot and cold much how they treat you over there as a professional athlete. You know, you go there, you have your workout set for the day, what you're going to do. They got a football field. It's a half football field, and we do agility drills, or we did do agility drills out there, and just pulling sleds and all that stuff, flipping tires, and so pretty much training like as if you're like for a college football team or something.
Now you were with Hendrick and changing tires over on the 51. You were with Jeff Knight when he was with that group too, right?
Oh yeah, old Knight.
You ain't got no good stories on Jeff, because I'm gonna have him come on the show again here in a few weeks.
Oh man, that guy's crazy.
That sort of leaves it wide open, doesn't it?
Good guy. He's a good guy. He's a real good guy. We had some good times. You know, we went out in Talladega infield and stuff when we were doing the nationwide car when Kurt was running the one car, because I also pitted that. I won Daytona with Kurt last year in the one nationwide car when he ran. But Knight was, I think Knight was on that car too. And man, Knight's crazy. He's a good old guy though. He's a good guy. He's coaching actually at Germain Racing right now for the 13 car.
Yeah, I talked to him in Martinsville for a little while when I was up there. He does have a lot of stuff with him and a lot of stories he can tell.
Man, he has some stories.
Yeah. Well, when you were dealing with him and working with him, did he ever help you out and teach you a lot of the things that you know now, or you know?
He helped me out. Well, it's a different sense because at the time, you know, he's a carrier and I'm a changer, but it's different. But he's been around for so long that, you know, he can, like if I had a bad stop, he'd come up there and just, he knew how to settle me down. Like, hey, you know, just let it go, let's go on to the next one and stuff. So pretty much what a coach does, you know, he was there, if something went wrong, he'd just be there to say something, so.
So he's a good person to have as a coach, because he's been around for a long time.
I would say so. I mean, I haven't personally been coached by him, but I know, like I said, if I had a problem, he'd come up to me and be like, hey, you know, just be smooth, relax, you know, just go out there and do your thing, like forget the last stop. So pretty much, he did coach things. I mean, their picture's a lot better than it was at the beginning of the year on the 13, that's for sure. So he has to be doing something, right?
So now that you're going to be with Childress for next year, and of course you probably have you gone over there yet to work, or are you just waiting till the season's over?
I've actually practiced over there several times now. I just signed yesterday with them, and but I was coming up there with the 78 crew when Kurt wasn't happy with us, obviously. So they put a nationwide group from the 2 car on the 78 and took all us guys off of there. But they kept having me come up there and practice with them, and I really, you know, I was kind of hoping that's what it was going to be. But because I got told about a month and a half ago that Furniture Row was letting me go for next year. So I've been going up there just randomly once a week, or you know, once every other week to go up there, and then finally they were talking to me like, hey, you know, we'd really like to have you, and you know, what are you doing for next year? What are your plans and all that? And he sat down, and Eric did the big coach and talked to the competition director, and they really like me and really want me for next year. So sat down on Tuesday, went over some numbers and stuff, and you know, all the normal stuff you look for in a job, everything, and they talked it over with me, and I signed the deal with them.
What was it like to work with a guy like Kurt Busch? I mean, now my son worked over at Phoenix for a while, and you know who he is.
Oh yeah, I know you're saying.
And he had one perception of him. What was your perception of Kurt Busch, and how? Just give me your perception of him.
Trying to say it in a way that.
Okay, I think that's a pretty good explanation right there.
We won't tell anybody.
Let's just say I'm not upset to not be on the car. I'll put it that way.
Well, now there's a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk that he's got his act together, and he wasn't as bad over there with Furniture Row as he had been in the past.
Well, he definitely wasn't as bad as he was at the 51, being like towards cussing really, I'd say, because 51 is bad. You're
did that situation work now with you at Furniture Row, and when you were with Furniture Row? You guys were here, the team is in Colorado. Did y'all do everything as far as the training and everything with Childress, or did you all have an area where y'all went and worked together, or what?
We all had an area where we worked together. There's a pit school where they train kids how to be on pickers and stuff. It's called 5 Off, 5 On. It's right in Mooresville, North Carolina, right next to NASCAR Technical Institute. And they have a really great facility there, and we practiced out of there all year. We really didn't go up to RCR till till there's 10 weeks left of the season. We had never been up there before. It just when all the stuff started happening, then that's when we went up there and they were looking at their picker guys and stuff like that. So we've been practicing in Mooresville. Like I said, they got their own facility, gym, garages to keep the cars, places to practice when it rains out, nice weight room. I mean, it's a good facility. That's where we've been practicing at the whole year. We still practice there. The whole group does. Even though everything's going to be done in a couple of weeks, we still practice, lift weights every day, because you never know if, they want to throw you in or something. You always got to be ready no matter what.
So did the whole group, is the whole group gone as far as what started the year as a pit crew there?
Yep, everybody.
So everybody's gone. Has everybody got situated for next year, or what's going to happen with them, the other people?
I don't really know. I don't think so, because they just found out yesterday. Like me and the other changer knew that we were going to be gone, but because they told us a month and a half ago or so. But other than that, they told the other guys just a couple days ago. So.
Well, I know it's going to be interesting to go back to go to Richard Childress and be working on that 33. You know who the crew chief over there is, right?
No, Nick Harrison.
Yeah.
That's right. Now I remember that. Yeah, old Nick. I had him on the 51. So.
Yeah. He's a good old fellow, but
he's a character too.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to go into all that, but yeah, he's a character. That's one way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say that he's a character.
Well, Anthony, we appreciate your time and talking with us tonight, and we'll hopefully get you back on next year after you win a race or two over there at Childress.
Well, I hope so. I really appreciate the opportunity. It's great to talk to you, and stay up on Facebook and stuff.
All right, man. I'll do that, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Anthony.
All right, bye.
There he goes. There's some more people gone.
I tell you, musical chairs in the pit crew.
Well, I knew that had happened.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell me that when I talked to him the first time the other day. He didn't say that. He didn't tell me that I'd been let go at 78. So I didn't know whether he wanted to let that be known that he.
Well, see, that's the other thing I was curious about is he said that Kurt Busch was sort of not happy that he had signed on with Childress Racing, excuse me, y'all are letting me go, so what?
So, well, it's the same thing as he did, that Kurt did last year. And again, I'm not going to say anything bad about Kurt because he's a guy, I know he gets very vocal and very outspoken and whatever you want to call it.
It's like his brother.
But he off the racetrack, he's a very good guy.
Yeah. He gets in a mindset when he's at the racetrack. This is business, and
he's just so competitive. He just does not want to lose.
And
it just binds him up.
I totally understand.
off the track though, he's a completely different person.
Do that.
Yeah, he is. He's a real nice guy. And
he's
I heard that about his brother too.
Well, he looks after his people, and he wants to take care of the folks.
And I would say not all of them do that.
But when it's time to race, now he's not the same person. So
he expects you to go to another level.
Somebody jumped in his body.
Something happened. I don't know.
But people will still do whatever to work for him because they want.
Yeah,
because they know he'll go to victory lane.
Yeah,
and he'll do whatever to get to the front.
All right, Roger, this is going to be yours this time.
Alan Meudt from WileyX. Hey, Alan.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing great, man. Just down here in Texas, getting all this bad weather flushed through, so we have a great weekend.
Well, you shouldn't be in too bad weather. Ain't you going out to eat?
I already went out to eat. I rushed back just to get on the phone with you guys.
Well, we haven't talked about food tonight, so we can throw some at Alan here. But anyway, Alan, one of the representatives for WileyX sunglasses. A lot of the drivers, Kevin Harvick, somebody we've been talking about here tonight, is one of his people. Go ahead and run through a lot of your stuff that you do for everybody.
Well, I tell you, this is our 6th season. We come out to the track, and we built a new mobile marketing unit this year with all the support we had for the last 5. Step up a little bit for the fans and give them a little bit more, and we bring out everything and anything that has to do with WileyX. WileyX is a 27-year-old company. We do all the ballistic eyewear for the military, so it's a higher-end safety glass, for want of a better word, but it has the purity of the optics, you know, that just aren't matched by any other polycarbonate lens out in the marketplace. Plus, it has a safety factor. They're all Z87 rated safety glass, and they're stamped so they can actually be used as safety glasses. So they're within that whole OSHA realm of safe. Then we take it up to a ballistic grade, which is about 4.5 times safer than the safety glass, which is stuff that we send out to the military, active duty, out fighting in the desert. And we take that same technology and run it in the consumer line. So you just can't beat the clarity and the safety factor and the fit, and you know, it's the reason why a lot of the drivers are wearing them. And we're actually pretty excited because 3 of the top 4 in the chase right now are wearing glasses that we made for WileyX. We got Kenseth and Jeff Gordon and Harvick and who am I missing? No, 3 of the top 4. That's one thing. Yeah, we're excited.
Well, I still love mine, and everybody that I know that's bought from you, everybody loves their glasses.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and you know, we stand behind them. They carry lifetime warranty on the frames, and you know, we have a few issues here and there, but people come back or call up our customer service line, which is, you know, one group of people out in California, and we take care of them. So you know, it's nice to go out and represent a product, sell something, and be at the track, and you know, offer a good price, and you know, have people come back either at the end of the day or on the event, or sometimes a year or 2 later, you know, thanking us for turning them on to the WileyXs and telling them, you know, all about it. And we're not there just to push and sell sunglasses. We're there to educate people, because there are a lot of expensive sunglasses out there, and in comparison, you know, to the quality that you see out there, some of the other higher end glasses, WileyX is probably the lowest price. So you know, that kind of excites people too, that we can give you that kind of quality at a really good price.
Good deal. Yeah, I personally have 2 pairs, so
yeah,
love both of them.
Great. Always great seeing you guys. Although, you know, they last so long that you know, heck, 2, 3 years, 4 years go by before I have a chance to tell you another one. So
yeah. Of course, wear and tear on lenses, that's always a good thing for you. At least somebody comes back for those.
yeah, and you know, the new styles come out, and they're like shoes, I guess. You know, you got to have the latest and greatest, the newest color and the newest design. So
that's me.
Nice styles that came out this year as well. And we do prescriptions, so you know, lots of reasons to come by and visit us.
Let's see, we might have our buddy here, Scott Allen. He might be ready to go get some next year.
Yeah. I always want the latest and greatest. They're the only ones I know that always have. They have a wheel on their thing where you can get a discount when you're at the racetrack.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know many people there that give 20% if you roll it on the right spot to get some buy glasses.
50%, yep, and we'll pick up the sales tax, and that's pretty good when you think about the expense and it costs us to go out to those tracks and travel and everything. So, you know, again, we're trying to give back. We're trying to, you know, increase the viability of the brand and let people see what it is, and that's happening. It's working. People are coming back with their friends and family. They're trying, and we call it the wow factor. do is just hand them a pair of Wileys, and they put them on, and the talking stops, and their jaws come across. Like, wow, these are nice. Those guys know what they're talking about.
Now, where else can you buy your glasses at? Is there a store that carries WileyX, or do you have to go online?
If you go online, you can hit the store retail finder. Bass Pro and Gander Mountain carry a selection, a pretty good selection of different styles. And if you do a search, you'll find a lot of optometrists, local independent retailers carrying them. Like I said, that's the easiest way to go online and do a retail search. You can always, buy them online. A little more difficult online when you're just looking at the picture. It's kind of hard to, adjust the fit. So we encourage people to get out and try them on. And if you're, at or near a track, even if you're not going to the race, come on down and visit us, and we'll get you fit with glasses. And you never know, you may get into the whole spirit and want to go to the race.
Yeah, so you picked up Greg Galding here recently on your driver's list.
Greg Galding, yep, absolutely. He started wearing them 2 years ago. Yeah, this is the third year that he's wearing them. So, and of course he's grown. My gosh, he shot up like a weed this year.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably wearing them when he was doing the last bit of his Legends racing, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. And then and then of course he, 2 years ago when he was real little, he liked the glasses. He was the real big glasses. So now he's finally grown into them, and now he wants to change different styles.
Yeah.
We talked to him in Charlotte, and we kind of pulled a goof on his dad. Had him put one of the white pair on, which his dad's not a real big fan, but very dramatic about it. He didn't just flat out say no. He said, "Oh yeah, well they look kind of okay."
Yeah, because I noticed you have Chad Hockenbrock also and Joey Coulter.
Yep.
We were just talking to Joey the other day right before the Martinsville race.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of drivers that we don't even have on our list. I mean, every time we turn around, we have somebody calling us and wanting to get some glasses, outfit their teams, and we're kind of running around sometimes with our heads cut off talking to people because they see the other drivers wear them. And they try them on, and it's like, and again, it's that whole wow factor, and they understand the technology behind it and the safety factor with what they do. Granted, 99% of the time they're not going to wear glasses when they're racing, but we had a couple events last year where Carl Edwards put on his revolvers, on a couple tracks where you're going to have that, the sun coming in and half sun, half shaded, and he did pretty well putting his WileyX on underneath the boxer.
Cool.
How much involvement do the drivers get in with you as far as helping? Do they help you in any way as far try to design glasses or make up something that they particularly would want to have?
They do. What we do is at the end of the season, we get with them and we kind of talk about the 2 or 3 pairs that they like, and they give us feedback, positive and negative, on what they would like. And then we go back to the drawing board. And the nice thing, Wiley's still independently owned, so the owners can really turn these ideas around pretty quickly. And I've actually seen it over the 6 years that we've been out at the track, where some of the designs that have come out have been, specifically geared towards the feedback from the drivers and from the crew as well. The pit crews that wear them, they give us information as far as, those fit great, but they slip a little bit. Or the nose piece was a little like this or like that, what have you. And we redesigned probably 4 of the models from 5 years ago to today based on that feedback. And it's real positive, because it filters right back to the consumers. Their everyday work, and they're out working in the yard and sweat. They don't want glasses falling off your face while you're working.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh. I'm sitting here while we're talking, checking out some of the newer stuff I hadn't seen on the site lately. Just checking out the PT1s there.
Yep, those are definitely military issues. The PT1s and the Dodson 3s, the Talons, the Saber Advanced. It's an M-frame style that we call it. It's got a 2 or a 3 lens set, and retail for a 2 lens set is like
Let's Talk Racing.
So I mean, for everything that you're getting, that's
Hey, Ricky.
incredible price.
stand by a second here. We're finishing up and swing you in. All right.
Still on you.
What? Where? That's what I get for turning around and seeing who's calling in for the next caller. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I might even get it up with you here before too long, checking the prescription thing, too.
Yep, absolutely. It takes about 10 days. Usually you'll go to your local optometrist, we'll get you fitted and measured and everything, and we get the lenses from our labs and get them to you. And we can do those PT1s, too. We do a little insert on them, which is pretty nice, but if you're looking for something for a little more active shooting type flash, definitely work on that.
Cool. All right, well, let me let you go ahead and settle down since you had to rush back to get on the phone with us. Get in that lazy boy recliner and kick your feet up and watch the, well, I think World Series is on tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, but heck, I'm going to finish watching your old show, and then I'll get over it.
Oh, okie dokie. Good deal. All right, well, you have a good night, and I will see you the next time at the track.
Okay, you guys take care, and thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your next guy. Who's up? Ricky Dennis.
Mr. Dennis, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. This is Jack Dodson, and got Roger
And Scott Allen, 29 Arena car, Miles of Seamless Gutter, Joe's Cornhole Boards, Chevrolet. What do you say, Ricky?
Hey.
I didn't know he was going to be here with us tonight, so I know he's geared up to talk arena racing with you.
Nice. Well, if anybody can do it with me, it's Scott.
Well, tell us how things are going out there getting ready for the season.
Well, I'll tell you, it's exciting times. You know, we're hopefully on the edge of greatness. I think we have the potential to be a 12-year overnight success this year. I think so. You know, we'll see how it goes. But, you know, there's a lot of excitement brewing, and you know, a lot of good things happening. And I just hope and pray every day that the pieces are coming together now. Just figuring out the last piece of the puzzle, you know, has been putting people in the seats, and that's been the part, of course, everybody struggles with. And unfortunately, the part because I've never been around in this sport, even though I've been in it every day of my life. So I think we've gotten a good grip on it now, and hopefully we'll just pull all this stuff together.
Well, what kind of things can we look for as far as some things that the fans would see that may be a little different from the past?
Well, you know, there's going to be a handful of things, but you know, one, you know, nobody else in the world is doing indoor racing like we are on a high bank racetrack, but two, nobody I know of is doing night racing, and we did it once in March of 2012. We tried it. We actually turned the lights off in the field, and we're bringing in, building new lights right now to put down on the racetrack where we'll light the track up where it'll look like Bristol sitting in the stands. And we're bringing in big screen TVs, so we do instant replays and things. This air action happens so darn fast, and people are looking to the left and the wreck happens to the right, they all say what happened, and there's no way of knowing. So, you know, you'll be able to watch that over again in most cases. You know, we'll do the best we can with the 3 cameras we'll have in there. And those guys do a great job. They did the first time they did. And, you know, there's just so many little pieces like that that are coming together. The way I understand it, and I'm not a techie kind of guy, but these GoPro cameras now have a new piece in it. Well, I think some people may be able to sit in the stands with their iPad and watch from the in-car cameras. And, you know, there's a lot of things we've got to learn and pull together, but we're going to be increasing the fan experience exponentially this year, and that's the biggest push.
Now, Ricky, you said something in one of the emails that are we going to be broadcasting all the races this year?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure we'll get the first one done, but they'll all be broadcast. They'll all be taped. The first one may be tape delayed as we put all this together, but yeah, of course, the plan is, as we did before, is where people will be able to watch live on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll all come together. And yeah, of course, it's unedited, but I mean, those guys do a great job with it. So I'm excited to see. By the end of the season, we should look as professional as anybody. These guys are a tremendous company we're working with, and they did a great job what they do at the one time. So I can't wait till they get to the third one because they're going to really have it down pat.
Yeah, I mean, the night race we had a few years ago was great. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of hoping we would do it again, and it looks like we are. How many cars do we know? How many cars we're going to have this year? I know it's kind of indicated that the car count's going to be up.
Yeah, it is. You know, but of course, you got to get everybody to show up on the same night. You know, there's been a couple people that had to hit it around about bringing 2 cars, and now they're bringing 1. And then, you know, there's a handful of guys that, you know, will be at the second race, and they won't be at the first. And, you know, if everybody showed up right now that says they're going to show up, we'd have 31 cars there, but they won't. You know, we've got 8 or 9 in the kids' class right now. We've got about 5 sitting on the fence, so we've only got room for 3 more, and we're done with the youth division. So, you know, it's the same thing. You know, we've got about 10 cars left to sell in the pro class, and we're done. I mean, we're not going to keep just selling cars. When we get to 42, that's it for the pro class. So I think when people see what we're doing under the lights this year, the exposure they can get, the excitement that we're building, and the crowd that'll build up this year, well, I would like to think that we'll probably out of cars by the end of this season.
Is there any? I mean, I know you moved everything to Richmond and everything there. Is there any chances somewhere down the road it may come back this way again, or is that a done deal?
No, I tell you, nobody wants it in Hampton more than me. You know, we probably got close to $4 million spent down there in the 9-10 years that we were there, and you know, exposure and what have you. You know, we came to Richmond because it was my hometown, and that really has taught me the part about putting people in the seat. Taught us what we had to sell. Now, when we come back to Hampton and go to other cities, we'll actually know what to sell to companies. You know, the assets that we have that are valuable to companies like the BB&T banks, the town banks, and those people, and all other companies that can bring employees and customers out in groups. Like to do the baseball game and the hockey game. But I say, as I've said before, I grew up in the pits, and we didn't care if there was 100 people in the stands or 10,000. We were just there for the trophy.
Yeah.
So that's the part of the world of racing. That's really the only part that I've never been part of. So coming to Richmond, I realized what we were missing in Hampton Roads all that time. We put people in the seats, and it's called the Good Old Boy Network. When I came back here, I didn't realize the business owners that I knew, the business leaders that I knew, and then they come in and they want me to make sure I meet this friend or that friend, and you know, we go back and meet and talk, and they say, this is how it helped my company. And I'm going like, I had no idea. I mean, you know, being in the race car business, you know, we had our shop built 1,100 stock cars in 19 years, and if somebody said, you have a team building that, I figured that meant we were building a new race car. Now, that was team building today. So, the number 1 spectator sport in the world, yeah, I get that. Number 1 brand local consumer in the world, I didn't care about that either. But I sure do now because I get it. Companies now that just is turning them on. And they're wanting to get involved with us and do things that their competitor is not.
Yeah, back when y'all were at Hampton, I actually talked with one of your people. We were trying to actually broadcast it like we do our TV show from the Coliseum. The only problem is we kept running into problems at the Coliseum.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, it helped us out a lot when the CAA tournament was in the Richmond Coliseum and they brought some kind of box up on the roof that really puts the signal out. And those guys, you know, they're working with us a lot. They want to make this thing a success. I mean, Joe down at the Hampton Coliseum was great to us. I just didn't know the right question to ask him to do things for us. And, you know, that's what I say about being in Richmond, being my hometown. You know, everywhere I go, every corner I turn, I learn into somebody that I can talk to about arena racing, whether they work for somebody or they're at a school or their kids are in scouts or whatever. I can talk about it every day and every night, where in Hampton Roads I was driving 2 hours to a meeting and then coming back. And, you know, I didn't understand it, but it's pretty darn clear now. You know, and another big, huge difference is, Blake Murphy and I did it just us for a long, long time. I got 7 people in the office this year. You know, the guy named Jim Ucrop now that's gotten involved in him beside Joe Gibbs is, you know, a partner in arena racing now in the Richmond area. And his name is probably one of the most popular names of all time from his Ucrop's grocery stores, and done better things for this city than anybody in my lifetime. And, you know, opened my eyes to a lot of things and introduced us to a lot of people and given us a chance now to bring all the right people in to try to do all the right things.
Now, a lot of people probably don't know all the people that are involved in it. I mean, is Norm Miller with Interstate and Joe Gibbs and all those people, are they still involved with the arena racing?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they all came up last month to the race at RIR to meet Jim Ucrop. I mean, they're all still part of it. The thing is, when they all invested in it, Gary Becker, he's probably the one that nobody knew who he was and didn't care, but that was probably one of the most instrumental ones in there because his family started monster trucks and arena cross, supercross, and the whole idea when they all came in as together, and I brought them together as a group. We advertised that Joe Gibbs was a partner, and we advertised it like a monster truck event. So that was to put us on the map. Well, but we're not a monster truck event. We're a minor league sporting event. We're all about group sales, season tickets, charities, all those other things that you have to do. Not monster truck Saturday night, bring your kids. So, we learned a lot. And coming to Richmond was another big eye-opening thing to me because I figured we were really on it now, but what I forgot was one huge thing. Nobody knows what we're talking about. And that's what I say when I say we've got millions of dollars spent in awareness in Hampton Roads. We just pretty much have to go back there because that's going to be a lot easier for us because so many people know where we are down there.
Were you involved in the arena racing as far as Charlotte and I think it was Michigan or somewhere like that? Were you involved in all that too?
That's what happened when my partners all came in. Joe Gibbs had a meeting with Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. after the 125s in Daytona, and they called me. I was sitting up in the stands in Hampton. They said Tony and Jr. want to be in, so they were all going to be in it. And then all of a sudden, Jr. wanted to own Charlotte, and he wanted to own Richmond, Virginia. I think to mess with me. And Tony wanted to own. He wanted up, I guess, in Indianapolis and somewhere else. And so everybody was excited. We wrote up some cities. And Junior wanted us to get Charlotte going, so we opened up Charlotte. But then what happened is their agents got involved, and they felt like Junior's deal was better than Tony's. If Tony drives for your partner, or no, Tony's deal is better. I mean, it got big crap. And we just had to really swap for those guys because Joe didn't need that distraction at the racetrack. So we opened up Charlotte. The first night in Charlotte, the guy from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and wanted to get something going. Been talking to me for a year about the owner of the build up there down there, and he saw it. And he said, "I got to open this up here." Well, we went to Charlotte not knowing what to sell and how to put people in the seats, so we had two cities that were bleeding. We had a guy open up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They got renegade on us and started changing the rule book and changing the way to do things. He had his son and his nephews in cars, and it was turning into a real joke. So that one just fell apart. But the good part about it is it taught us all these things not to do in the future. So it was all a great experience for us, even though things failed. The biggest thing I like people to know and realize is in August of 2008, we were in discussions and letters of intent. We had a group in Phoenix that were buying their plane tickets the next day to fly to Charlotte to put their money down to open up. We were having letters of intent things in place for 11 people to open up 18 cities. And when the people on the TV said the world was coming to an end. And, it just all froze. But we're still here. And we survived it. And now the phone's starting to ring again. And we got a lot of the good people around us. And we're getting ready to start doing some really neat things. And this thing, like I said, could be on the verge of getting ready to launch right across the country and turn into a sport instead of an event in Virginia.
Yeah, I totally love arena racing. It's a ton of fun. I don't know where else you can go, Ricky, for $10 to get an unreserved seat, and you get 2.5 hours worth of cars flipping, running into each other. It's a great family sport. I don't know if you could stress how much family, because there's a ton of kids that come, and it's great for families. It's not that loud. And that's what some people ask, so how loud is it, because they're worried about their kids hearing and stuff.
Yep. Well, people, that's always been a big thing in our advertising. His moms will say it's big cars, smoke, fumes, and noise. And, somebody, I was at a Christmas party a couple of years ago, and a mom said, well, it's got to be crazy loud in there. And I said, well, it's not this loud. And I counted, there was 14 people in our kitchen at a Christmas party. So it's not as loud as 14 people in your kitchen.
Yeah, it's not that loud. And it surprised me how many people don't know us up in Richmond.
Right. No, still, the thing is now, the awareness is big. A heck of a lot of people still have never been, but a heck of a lot of people heard it from a friend of theirs. And the only thing people up here talk about is that they came or they heard about it, and they said it's a blast. It's great. We love to go. Our kids love, blah, blah, blah. And that doesn't stop. So the good part is that there's such good momentum and good awareness and good comments about us and what people think about us, because it is fun. And I tell people a lot, the happiest fan we have in our grandstand is a mom. And I had figured out it's because their kids are just so engaged and they don't get restless because they sit and watch these cars go around for 2.5 hours. But I say a lot of times the moms don't have the kids; they're with other moms. And people look around, there are groups of moms in our grandstands, and who'd have ever thought that women want to do a ladies' night out and go to arena racing? I mean, I just never would have believed that in my life.
Well, Ricky, I know you've got your schedule together for this year and ready to get started. Are there any special events coming up as far as the races itself, like something you're promoting other than just the racing it?
Well, we've got a lot of team nights, military night and teacher appreciation night, and a lot of those things, and people have to just watch on our website and our Facebook page for those things. And I tell you, everything we're working on right now is to make every night as special as we can. So, December 7th, I want to try to bring back the old holiday party where companies quit having holiday parties. I still say Christmas party, I don't care. Because it got so crazy expensive, but when people can, my brother in the car business, and in a dealership in Charlotte. I said, what did you do for a Christmas party last year? He said, well, we don't do all the crazy stuff we used to do. We actually catered lunch and gave everybody a turkey. I said, okay, so what did that cost you per person? He said, $72. I said, so you fed everybody real good. They got a big old belly on, and they walked up to the car, and they got in their car and said, damn, I'm full, and all I got was a turkey. I said, for $40, you could have gave them tickets to brought their whole family to arena racing. They'd be talking about that for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So we have that option now. We're pushing for that, and it's just things like that. When people start comparing us to other sports and other things, we've got the best deal going for entertainment in any kind of way, shape, or form.
Doing pretty good.
Plus, you can have your birthday party there.
Make the
absolutely
video more high def.
The kids waving the green flags, and the kids. When they see Scott, they see those drivers out there in their car seat.
Computer video card companies.
Jeff Ford,
some of
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Cards
Kids they're just so mesmerized and can't believe they're in the same room with these race car drivers. Some of them
at least
don't realize they live down the street from one of them.
That I actually bought money
It's so cool to watch how these kids, even the adults do. They think it's cool because all you guys walking around and sitting in the stands and sitting in the middle of these people and talking to them and thanking them for coming, and they just can't believe that. That's just what we are.
Well, what is one thing that we can do as the drivers to help make it a better experience?
One of the best things that is going on, and I wish didn't happen on the short track racing and outdoors, is, their drivers are out there promoting it. The sad part, one of the toughest things that the Langley Raceways have going a lot of times are the drivers and the teams, because something happened. And when the driver sees somebody at church on Sunday and they say, what happened last night? Oh, you ain't going to believe it. And they start fussing about it. But in arena racing, it's so much more of a positive thing. So that's it, really. It's just telling people about it, bringing people, and anybody that's got a connection to somebody in an HR department or a company or a business leader or a scout group or a church group or anybody fundraising, just contact us. There's a program out here that will be beneficial to that group, whether it's discounted group tickets or fundraising opportunities to come sing a national anthem. We've got something that helps them and us, and so it just works.
Okay. All right, Ricky. Well, thank you for coming on the show. We'll keep pushing arena racing.
Well, I appreciate it, definitely, man. We try to climb every tree as high as we can climb every day. To have the Scott Allens out there helping us promote it, we can't help but to have success. It's got to come to us.
See? He ain't smart either.
I never said I was either, but we'll give up. We're going to keep at it. But we know we're on to something that we're going to be really happy telling our grandkids about one day.
All right. Well, thank you, Ricky. I'll see you in a couple weeks. I won't be there Saturday, but I'll be there the following Saturday.
That'd be great, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
CJ on 2. Push 2, then speaker.
CJ Faison, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, nothing's going on here. The same old stuff. How's things down your way?
Oh, they're beautiful down here. I can't complain.
We're doing our own laps around here. It's easier.
What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Keep rolling.
Did you get my message today?
Which one was that?
I sent you a message on Facebook. Did you get one? Did you get it today?
I haven't checked my Facebook rest of the day.
All right. Well, I'll check it out, and if not, I'll get back with you again. I had a question for you.
Okay.
All right. So what's going on in your world that as far as racing right now?
Oh, well, race season's pretty much over for me until February. I fly out to Texas tomorrow with Red Horse Racing and going to go out there and just mingle with a couple of teams and hopefully land some good opportunities for next year. And if I do, that would be great. And, you know, if not, it's just so good to be out there and be seen and be in the mix and of all those teams. So we fly out at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and like I said, we're pretty much done in the race season until February. I'm going to go down there for the Dirt Speed Weeks at East Bay Raceway Park, and I'm going to go try to reclaim the title that I won 2 or 3 years ago. So that'll be pretty fun.
So, your crew chief, is he going with you out there?
To Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure is. He's going to come with me, and we're going to have a little bit of fun, just kind of mingle with a couple teams. And, you know, one of the things that, you know, him and I have always talked about, and that I've always assured him, is that I want to take him wherever I go, you know. So, you know, whatever options are available out there and whatever we decide to do, I told him I always want him to be my crew chief because, you know, it's really hard to find a chemistry like him and I have. So, you know, when you got something special like this, you got to keep a hold of it for sure.
Were you at Martinsville this past weekend?
Yes, sir, sure was.
I thought I saw you roaming around there from a distance. I never got over to where you were, but I thought I saw you there.
Yeah, you should have yelled at me.
We could have got our pizza he owes us. Jeez.
So, tell us what you thought about that truck race up in Martinsville.
Well, honestly, Mark and I, we just went up there for the practice day, that Thursday, and then we came back Thursday night. So we were, it was, I don't know, it was something different, that's for sure, from what I heard. But, you know, my take on the whole situation, I guess you guys are kind of getting, push me to the Harvick and all.
It's just us.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, you know, it's good, I think, for the sport to have somebody that's outspoken, like Kevin Harvick. You need that. You know, everybody else is too scared to call it like it is, and I think that's a part of the sport's problem why we're losing fans left and right. And, you know, the fan base, I see it every week. You know, the fan base has dropped significantly from when I used to go to the race as a kid and dream of being out there and race against the people that are still racing. But as far as that goes, that's a touchy situation because you can't really say much, but I'll be like Harvick on this situation. You know, the Dillon boy, I feel that he should have a little bit more respect for Harvick, and you got to know that Harvick is going to come in there and he's going to rough you up. That's just the way he drives, you know, and you can't do anything about that. But when you try to spin the guy out and repeatedly, I mean, once is enough. But when you try to spin him out 2 or 3 times, I mean, enough's enough already. You got to cut ties and get him back some other time when it's going to hurt more. So, yeah, that's my take on the situation. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong what Harvick did or what he said, but you know, I agree that we need people in the sport to be outspoken like him.
So, are you looking for next year, looking more towards the truck series than you are the K&N series?
Well, I do have, when the schedule comes out for K&N, I'll know more about my schedule, what I'm going to race and that. But right now, I'm planning on running most of the bigger tracks like Dover, New Hampshire, Bristol, you know, places like those, and staying away from the small tracks like Greenville and Columbus, Speedway, places like that. You know, you just tend to tear up a lot more equipment there, so you know, that's one thing we're looking at, and we want to run a couple of truck races, you know. So, but if a truck deal comes through and sponsorship permitting, we get a good deal with somebody, then by all means, I'd like to move up.
Cool. Now, you say you've already headed to Texas, or you're still in North Carolina? I mean, no, you're up in Delaware, aren't you?
No, I'm originally from Delaware, but I live in North Carolina right now. So I'm still here, and I fly out tomorrow morning with Red Horse Race.
You gonna be making pizzas down there too?
What do you say now?
You still gonna be making pizzas down there too?
No, my pizza making days are over, unfortunately. They did a horrible job.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm serious. That was actually a lot of fun, to be honest with you. To be for Little Caesars to allow me and my crew to come in there and jeopardize their business, but that was a pretty big step for them. So that was a lot of fun. Though I can't thank them enough for the opportunity. That was for sure.
Good deal. What was it? I think your dad was putting some pictures on there where people were in line, or the cars were in line waiting for Little Caesars pizza and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was working. They made me work the drive-thru for the video shoot that they did. Man, did I have them backed up, because that computer system is a little tricky to get a hold of. But then once you get a hold of it, it's pretty decent. It was a lot of fun, though.
You should have called your computer guy.
I'm telling you, like, not much of a computer whiz, but I can figure it out once in a while.
Well, next time, just give me a shout. I'll straighten you out.
Yeah, it was really cool, though. But I'm just telling you on one thing. If I would have made y'all pizza that night, I wouldn't have ate it, because like half of it was cheese and the other half like pepperoni. I mean, it was bad.
Well, I do keep in my fridge lots of mozzarella, so if you'd have screwed it up, we'd have fixed it.
Perfect. Sounds good.
So what is, have you got something that certain people that you're going to talk to about the trucks or whatever down there, or do you have a lead on some stuff? I mean, without telling us who they are, because I know you're not going to, but...
We won't tell nobody.
But, I mean, do you have a lead on something that you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of possibilities, actually. You know, obviously the sport has drastically changed from the way it used to, so it's a lot harder to make it on talent, because you have so many people that are coming in with, you know, fathers or grandfathers with big checkbooks, and, you know, they buy the rides up before you can get them. So, you know, it's pretty tough to get in the sport right now, but we've got a couple of leads on some really good teams that I'm just crossing my fingers for. Like every day, you know, I wake up at 4:30 and I'm there at the race shop, and then I'm, you know, on the phone and looking for sponsorships and stuff like that. And it's a tough deal, but you know, hopefully everything will work out the way I planned, and I'll be racing the truck next year. That'd be pretty awesome.
Now, if you're talking about Red Horse Racing, was John West Townley, isn't he in the number 7 right now?
Yep, sure is. He's in number 7. He's actually having a pretty good year, they're saying. So, you know, he's learning a lot, and it's his first full-time year in the truck. So, you know, he's obviously been in there before, and I think, you know, Red Horse, they're a great operation. They got a great team. You know, hopefully I can be a part of that one day, and if not, hopefully I'll be a part of another team. So, just keeping all of our options open right now is the biggest thing.
Yeah. You might also talk to NTS too, I think, because they every once in a while will put a third truck out. They put Harvick in it this past weekend.
Yeah, that's probably another option I want to try to explore. I want to, you know, definitely, I'd like to talk to really all the teams, honestly, you know what I mean? Because the more opinions you get and the more sides you hear from the stories, then you better make your judgment on what team is best to suit your needs. So, you know, like I said, just keeping options open is the biggest thing right now.
Any possibilities in the nationwide?
I've looked at a couple of nationwide deals. You know, I obviously would never jump from the K&N series to a nationwide series car unless the right opportunity came about, because that's a pretty big jump. You know what I mean? I'd like to take it slow and be able to, I guess, learn the craft of racing the trucks and then moving up from there, you know?
Yeah. Huh.
But by all means, if there's an opportunity, I would never turn it down.
That's right. If anything opens up, you want to be able to put your foot in the door and then squeeze through.
Exactly, yeah. So sometimes you got to overcome and adapt, and if, you know, need to be, I'll do it.
Well, have you asked any more women if they're pregnant or not at the autograph line yet?
Have we got one now?
Go ahead, Jeff.
He wanted to know if you asked anybody else, any women were they pregnant again yet?
I'm lost on that one.
You know, you were telling us on one of the shows that we had you on here, you talked about one of your most embarrassing moments was asking somebody if they were pregnant and they wasn't. No, that's what he was talking about. He wanted to know if you'd done that again.
No, absolutely not. I keep my mouth shut.
Just checking, just checking.
It don't take but once to learn, does it?
No, but I've also learned this. Like if you ever see a woman and you're not sure if she's pregnant or not, you know, hey, do you have any kids? And then she's like, oh yeah, I'm expecting. It's a lot easier to swallow that one than it is to ask her to be pregnant. She does now.
No, you just comment on how slim she looks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or you have that special glow about you.
You just got this miraculous glow. I don't know what it is.
Well, what are your chances of going to the Battle of the Beach again this year? Or this year, you got a chance to do that, or are you looking to do that?
Honestly, last year was a good but bad year for us, and it's not going to scare me away from it by any means. But you know, I'm not entirely too sure what our plan is for that. I haven't really heard much about the Battle of the Beach, so whether or not it's still going on or not, I'm not too sure. We haven't heard much about it down here, surprisingly. So if they have it, it might be an option that we look at. But man, that was one wild race last year. I mean, they were putting the track together, and I was out there looking at them, just like, you got to be kidding me. We're going to race around these barrels and tires, and it was nuts, but it was so much fun at the same time. So if we do go back, I'd really be looking forward to it.
Or when is your K&N banquet coming up? When is that coming up, and what's the plans for that?
Honestly, I'm not too sure when it is. I know it's sometime in December, early December. So I'm not too sure the exact date on it, but I do plan on going at least to breakfast that morning and seeing everybody before, you know, the New Year. So it was fun last year. It really was. You know, you got to go up there, get an award, hang out with all your friends that you raced with all year, and it was pretty cool to see everybody dressed up. I mean, you see everybody in you know, black pants and black shirt or race suits, and to see them all dressed up, it's kind of weird, honestly.
You probably don't recognize them in the suit without seeing them in their work clothes or their driving suit.
Yeah, actually, that's a true statement there.
So what are you going to do for Halloween?
Halloween this year, I'm going to be CJ Faison. I heard everybody's pretty scared of him, so.
Okay, I was just typing on the screen here for the guys to ask you about that, and I actually put down, are you going to go as a race car driver?
No, I'm not that race car driver material, that's for sure. I don't know how to be one of them. I don't know where you get those costumes at, so.
Party City and Kmart and Walmart, I'm sure. You should have, if you were around the Martinsville, Miss Sprint Cup was going around and trying to do trick-or-treats on, I think it was, what, Saturday morning? And nobody wanted to do the treat thing. I don't know, trick thing, rather. No, we could never get a straight answer from them what that was going to involve.
Well, that's the best part there is a trick-or-treat, man. I missed that as a kid, honestly. I used to have a ton of fun with that.
All right, well, when you get something firmed up now, after you get back down to Texas and get back home and everything, let us know so we can find out what's going on with you.
Hey, that sounds like a winner, man. I'll definitely come back home every time you guys need me.
All right, man, we'll do that, and check your Facebook when you get a chance.
Okay, cool. Good talking to y'all as always.
All right, man, talk to you later.
Later.
All right, see y'all later.
All right.
So what'd you check with him on?
Huh? I sent him a question of something that I wanted to ask him about. Some of the stuff he had put on Facebook.
Oh, damn! I meant to tell him happy birthday to his mom.
Oh well.
But didn't ever hear back from Al, so heck with him.
He's on his birthday. It's Al Pearson's birthday, so happy birthday, Al. Scott's gonna say
happy birthday to.
He's the rookie. He's supposed to say.
He belongs in a zoo. Well, I'd like to tell everybody we had a good night with all our guests, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it too. We'll see everybody next week on Let's Talk Racing. I reckon I should get to the program, right?
Well, that'd be good.
Later, see ya!
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway track champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive the 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N